Good afternoon, this is Evan with Build Brothers Roofing and Solar doing a digital inspection for a home out here in the North Park area. Normally when I start these inspections, I start under the eaves so that we can get a general condition of the wood. So right here you have your fascia, and then under you have your starter board, and then above that, above the starter board is your rafter tails. And so I wanted to point out a couple things. You can see this wood starts to deteriorate. When we inspect under the eaves, we want to look for boards that have been significantly compromised by wood rot, dry rot, or termite damage. And you can see on the end of these boards, you are starting to see that damage, especially right here. And so the reason we do that is we want to get a general condition of a kind of idea of how much wood repair there will be, so that we can give that expectation to the homeowner. Right there, that board will need to be replaced as well. And another thing I want to point out here is just the granules that have fallen off the roof here. So this walkway here is pretty much just littered with the granules that have slid off the roof here. So that already shows before I get up here that this roof is pretty old. There's the gray granules there, and then really all over this back patio area. All right, and so I am on top of a 3-tab shingle roof. So this type of roof is actually discontinued. So they don't make these anymore, don't install these anymore. And I wanted to point out a couple things now that I am on top of the roof. So first thing you notice is really just the amount of granule depletion on this roof. So as the sun beats down on the roof over time, the oils evaporate, and these granules that you see, they begin to deplete. So like here on this course, you can see most of it has depleted and it slides off the roof. Especially in this area here, that granule depletion is very heavy in this area, here as well. And really all over this roof here, especially where the sun beats down on it the most. So that will be your south-facing sections. Now the problem is that when the granules deplete and they slide off the roof, that fiberglass is exposed. So that's that shiny material that you're seeing. And when the fiberglass is exposed, the waterproofing capability of the roof is greatly affected. And so seeing it as it is a 3-tab shingle roof and there's heavy granule depletion all over, that fiberglass being exposed, it is only a matter of time before the water will get inside this roof, since it is well over 15 to 20 years old. Other thing you notice is just the old way that roofs were installed with these exposed nail heads here. So on a shingle roof, what we don't want to see is the exposed nail heads, because eventually as the roof ages, these nail heads create areas where water can potentially get in. And so the roof has done a good job with its life, but it's definitely past its life expectancy, and those exposed nail heads are the first areas where water would eventually intrude once this roof is about to fail. And wanted to point that out. Another thing I look for on shingle roofs is just the strength of the actual material. Now, surprisingly, there are some shingles that are still adhered properly to this roof. But then, of course, you can start to see how easy it is to lift this material up. I'm not up here trying to rip this roof apart. I'm literally just gently lifting here, and that material is just coming up way too easy. And so as wind-driven rain hits this roof, this is another area where water can get in and into the home. You can see a blown off shingle right here. It seems that the penetrations have been resealed over time, but since then they have cracked, exposing another area where water can get through. And then the other thing I noticed is just the air bubbling. So on this roof, you can see where the air bubbling is occurring. And you have it right in this section here. And when you have air bubbling in a roof, that is an area where water or moisture can build up and sit. And moisture that sits for a prolonged period of time will eventually find its way through. You have another blown off shingle here. I think that's the ridge cap that came up in this area, exposing a hole. And then here's another depiction of the wood. You can start to see clear evidence of what looks to be termite damage. So there will be, and that is a repair that was done obviously in the past, but that has come apart since then. So in my professional recommendation, this roof is on the very last leg of its life, and it is time to fully replace this roof. So what we're going to do is we're going to come out, we are going to tear this roof all the way down to the wood decking and address any bad wood that has been compromised by termite damage, wood rot, or dry rot. Now, wood repair is always an unknown variable because we will not know the exact amount to be replaced until we tear down to that layer. And once we do that and rejuvenate the structural integrity of the home, then we will be laying down our synthetic underlayment, which is a huge upgrade from the felt papers that some roofers still use to this day. But we prefer to use the upgraded material, the synthetic underlayment, for much more strength to the roof. After we do that, we'll be installing our starter shingle around the perimeter of the home, a brand new 2-inch drip edge around the entire perimeter for proper water runoff off the roof. And then we'll be installing our Owens Corning Duration shingle over the top. The Duration shingle is a premium product. It has reflective properties in it to reflect sunlight better, keep the home cool during that summertime. And after we do all that, we will also be resealing all penetrations, installing new flashings as necessary. And after we fully replace this roof, it will be in fantastic shape for the foreseeable future. With Owens Corning, we are a Owens Corning preferred contractor, so the roof will come with a 50-year manufacturer's warranty, as well as our Build Brothers lifetime workmanship warranty. And then this roof will be in amazing shape for the foreseeable future after we replace it. I will submit this video to the homeowner and get the report written up, and we'll get all this information out to them. Thanks.